What a great turnout in this event. Thank each and every single one of you for coming. My name is Pearson. I am your chairman for the Will County Republicans, and I could not do this without each and every single one of you. So thank you. Thank you.
It's very convenient. I'm just right here car. I'm just going to sit up here.
We're getting ready to get started so we can get folks fed and get Mr. Moore up here and close out. So I would like to invite you all to come to do our invitation.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us the opportunity to assemble this evening to honor the hard work of our community leaders and for the opportunity to fellowship. We also ask that you bless our elected officials and allow them to continue to be a blessing in our community. We pray for your guidance, wisdom, grace, and mercy for our elected officials as well. We also ask for a special blessing for our speaker this evening, Mr. Stephen Moore, as he shares with us some words of wisdom. Please bless this meal and allow it to be a nourishment to our body. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
At this time, we'll have a presentation of our colors up here and a song sung by Raquel Melody. Raquel, are you here? Raquel. Well, if I can have everyone rise and we say the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm not even about to attempt to sing that song. I'm trying to stay chairman. Tonight, we have been blessed with the opportunity to have Mr. Stephen Moore come out and address us. We're living in a very turbulent time here in Illinois with a lot of things that's going on in the federal government. And I figured that we needed to hear some really good news from the economic front to help teach us our message that we can go forward, that we will be able to go out and reach out to those who have actually decided to elect our current governor, and to give them a change of heart and mind. And that will be part of my presentation after this morning, to give us our next marching orders, because that's what this meeting is all about. This is for our PCs, to get you guys energized and bring you the tools that you need to go out and be successful. And one of those gifts, one of those tools, is Mr. Stephen Moore.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to be here with you tonight. As I said in our VIP reception, I'm here to help make Illinois great again. I just have to tell you one fun story about, by the way, this is a great, great president, or what? Just a week ago, and he was, one thing I love about Donald Trump, he's always so humble. He never lets anything get him down. You know, have you ever seen the media treatment of a president like this? I mean, it's despicable what the media does. But he never lets him get down. He's such a fighter. I love the fact he never, this is the president who never gives up, never gives in. People always ask me, how do they get behind Donald Trump? How did Larry Kudlow and me and our Because remember, there were 15 Republicans running for president last time. He was like, why did you choose Donald Trump? You know why? Because Donald Trump is a winner. And that's what he did. That's what I want to say about it. I'll let you all eat your dinner. And we'll talk more after dinner. But this is a tough state. I love this state, though. I'm from Illinois. I think it's one of the reasons you invited me to come, and I'm so honored to be invited. I grew up in the Chicago area. I think Chicago is one of the great cities in the world. I think it is the state of Illinois is wonderful. I got an incredible education at the University of Illinois. And ladies and gentlemen, it's great. My son goes to Northwestern, and all my relatives live here. But it breaks my heart to see what the politicians have done to this state. And this is a state that, when I was growing up, was a fiscally conservative state that paid its bills and that watched the taxpayers' money, and in fact was a low-tax state. Believe it or not, when I was growing up, Illinois was a low-tax state. Today, I just wrote a column. I hate to tell you this, but the title of the column was "The 4 States of the Apocalypse." And ladies and gentlemen, can anybody guess by the way what the 4 states of the apocalypse are?
Illinois.
California, New York, New Jersey, and Illinois. And by the way, those are the 4 states that have the highest taxes in the country, and they're the ones in the most fiscal difficulty. You think liberals might figure it out? That you can't? You've got a governor. How did this guy get elected? I mean, come on. How did this? The one thing that Illinois has going for it is that you have a flat tax, right? Because you've got the highest gas taxes, you got the highest sales taxes, you got the highest property taxes in the country. At least you have a flat tax income tax, and principal responsibility for that. Please do not allow him to raise the income tax, because if he does it, I got to tell you, everywhere I go around the country, and I'm on the road everywhere from Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine, and everywhere in between. You know what I see everywhere I go? Illinois license plates. People are leaving this state. And this is a great state. You have to really try to make people want to leave this great state of Illinois and the land of Lincoln. But people do. And I asked them, why did you leave? And you know what the people said? I'm just sick of the liberal Democratic politicians in Illinois and Chicago destroying this great state. And the reason I came here is to say, enough. We are going to beat these people, or we're going to send them back to the legislature. Every one of us, let's just make a commitment right now. Because I know so many people in this room are public officials, and thank you for your service to the state and to our country. By the way, can I just, as a side, I know I met, can the people who served our country in the military, would you please stand up? I know there are a number of them as well. And our liberties, and can't we all just work our asses off to take back this state from the Democrats? And I'm committed to doing it if you are, and that's why I'm here tonight. So thank you very much for your time.
All right, we are ready to begin to eat. The servers will actually, will actually be calling out the tables to get started, and then in the meantime, we'll be ready to visit, and we'll take a conversation. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got to move on with the program here. Pete Delaney, Executive Director of Will County Central Committee. I'd like to do some introductions and recognitions. Some of our sponsors are Kicking Wine, who was able to make it here tonight. We have Dave Lombardo, Safer USA. Roger Clare, Mayor of Overbrook. And also sponsors. We got Tim Balderman, Mayor of Blue Lennox. We also a gracious sponsor for our organization. We have so many people here. What I'm going to do is introduce people by group. So all the township officials, will you please stand up? All the township officials. We have county board members here. All the Will County board members. We also have Will County judges here. No, I did their best. Village trustees and councilmen. Okay, then we have school board trustees, library district trustees. You can stand up. Okay. So, Julie, why don't you come up here? Yeah. Alicia, back there. Julie Morgan is our secretary of the Will County Secretary. A lot of work. Alicia Becker, she is the event chairperson.
Good evening, everybody. So this year, the committee decided that we're going to start instituting some awards. People to be recognized over the years that we want to recognize and make it a continuous type of event. So I have the distinct privilege of getting to award the Larry Rossi Award. And it is going to be given to, in recognition of the person who has given the most outstanding service to the Will County Republicans over the years. Larry is not able to be with us tonight, but he was a precinct committeeman for over 40 years. He was also the Will County chair for many, many years. So it is my privilege to be able to make the announcement of this award to let you know that it will be an ongoing award that we'll have over the years. So, this is what it's going to look like. This is what it looks like. It is the Will County Republicans Larry Rossi Award presented to Larry Rossi for 2019. So this award will be given in the future for outstanding community service, and we will make sure that this gets to Larry. So thank you very much, and we appreciate your time.
Tonight, we have an opportunity to honor someone that is near and dear to my heart. Roger Clare was one of the people that I met. He was actually the first elected official that I met when I moved to Bolingbrook 19 years ago. I recruited two people to help tell you about Roger Clare. Two people that know him better than anyone in this room. That would be his wife, Pat, and his daughter, Lindsay. Let me start by reading a letter from Lindsay. I heard my dad was being awarded with the Lifetime Achievement Award. If you guys only knew. The only thing I've ever known of my father is service. He was one of the first ones to get a cell phone installed in his car. Remember those giant ones with the coil cords? Because there was always work to do. And he didn't want to keep people waiting. Whether he was taking me to school in the morning, while working on fixing some broken streetlights, or driving down to Springfield and returning messages, he was constantly talking to someone. One of my favorite stories was when I was little. We got a call in the middle of the night from a resident who was having a troublesome raccoon problem. I didn't think they expected the phone number on my dad's business card to ring through to the house and wake up the family. I mean, who puts their personal contact information out there like that? My dad does, that's me. He's always been about public service, and he's always given his own phone number and address, and he answers all of his own phone calls. My dad has had many opportunities to move into positions that would give him more acknowledgement, even fame. But time and time again, he said he prefers to work on the local level where he can have easy access to individuals and he can make a difference in the lives of the residents. As he nears retirement, he wonders what he will do with himself, but I'm not worried. I'm sure he'll find something new to get involved in and make a positive impact to those around him. Congratulations, Dad. Pat Lindsay, his son-in-law Trevor, and his granddaughter Samantha send their congratulations from California. They wish they could be here with me to celebrate this honor. They're extremely proud of the man that they call husband, father, and grandfather. I did ask Pat to share a few reflections of his political career. Roger first became a village trustee in 1979, and as one publication stated at the time, he was bringing a measure of peace to what had been a divided ward. In 1981, he threw his hat in the ring and ran for the Illinois Senate race, narrowly losing to incumbent Ray Hudson during the Republican primary. He later supported Hudson during the general election, and since then he has carried a lot of water to the elephant, raising countless dollars for candidates and grooming and mentoring many individuals seeking office. Roger ran the DuPage Township Republican Party for many years, serving as chair and as vice chair, with such notables as Dick Kavanaugh, and they often refer to them as the machine for their solid campaign practice and continued success. As a political leader, there are probably few individuals that have dedicated their time and effort, as Roger has, to helping raise funds and financial support for candidates, encouraging and providing valued political wisdom to others like he does. He's a master fundraiser and, needless to say, a wealth of knowledge. Roger is currently serving in his 33rd year as the mayor of Bolingbrook. Please join me in congratulating our lifetime achievement leader, my mayor, Mr. Roger.
Which I don't. Anyway, I do have a couple things I want to say, but they kind of cover everything. It's great to get those notes from my wife and daughter. But I was sitting here hoping you don't give me a clock. I don't want a clock. You'll put us to something I'll treasure and it'll be in California in the distant future. Lifetime Achievement Award. You know, I got the phone call about it. I looked at my Apple Watch to see if the EKG is still working. You know what you can. Or who gets lifetime achievement awards? Somebody hobbles up the podium. Or students, you know. So, either way. If you hear somebody noise in the background, it's my grandfather, my mother, and my sister rolling over for them giving a lifetime achievement award for the Republican Party. My grandfather was a state senator, a state rep, a state attorney, school board president, and mayor, all as a staunch Democrat. My mother was a staunch Democrat. I grew up as a Democrat. I became a candidate Democrat. Back in 1963, we had Dwight Eisenhower was an old guy. You can relate to John Kennedy. And I grew up in a Democratic household. And I was a Democrat through college, although I wasn't politically active. I came to Bolingbrook and I ran into John Anarino, who said, help out the party. So I became a Democratic community. I was one for about 2 years until I got tired of watching little beer bottles each other across the room when they fought all the time. And a guy named Dick Kavanaugh, who probably deserved that award a lot more than I do. I think one of the smartest guys in the county, smartest guy in this room, except for our speaker. I haven't heard of him. But Dick Kavanaugh taught me a whole lot, and we've been working in a relationship now for many years. I have been called in the past a Republican in name only, Rhino. In my job, I was talking to the mayor a while ago, we have to get things done in local government. You can't be a hardliner Republican or hardliner Democrat. You got to work together. And people in Washington and Springfield need to learn that. There's too much that needs to be done and fighting all the time. And that's one thing I try not to do. When I first became mayor of Bolingbrook, I went to functions and you're mayor? I said, yeah. Where? I said, Bolingbrook. They went, oh. Now, you old timers know what that means. I don't get that anymore. I'm very proud of that. That's because we have a lot of great people who work for me. There are several village trustees here that were introduced a moment on that again. But we had a great group working together for years. And party politics is important. You have to stand for something. One of the reasons municipalities don't do well in government across the state is because most mayors pride themselves to be independent. Especially means standing for nothing. A good politician will recognize you even if you're in their party as long as you stand for something and work for the common good. So that's what I always try to do. I do like to raise money, I like a lot of people. I've had a chance to meet a lot of presidents. I've been delegate 6 times to the convention. Most recently, I was a delegate to the convention for President Trump, and I'm proudly wearing the cufflinks he gave me tonight, which I'll treasure always. I think he's a great president. We're going to hear more about that in a minute. But it's been a great run. I am, of course, forgiven. I see the light in the tunnel, and I don't think it's a freight train. It's a little girl named Samantha Joy, and I can't wait to spend time with her, FaceTime with her frequently. I do appreciate the award recognition. It was a surprise. And George, you should be very proud. This is the largest group I've seen. Same way. Alicia's been a very active person. She's going to be going places. She's been a couple of months road to state rep race, but you're going to see Alicia Bedford in leadership positions for the next several years, and I'm proud to know her, and I'm proud to work with her. So thank you all very much. Looking forward to hearing you speak tonight. And you know where to find me. Most people do. Call me if I can help. Thank you very much.
June 1st, she will be 102 years old.
Before I bring up our state party chairman, I just want to make a couple more acknowledgments in here of a few folks that we lost last year. One of those gentlemen is Jack Barlow. Jack brought me into the Will County Republicans. He was the very first where I'm at, just after Dick, and then Ed, Kathy, and Mary Ann. And I tell you, I learned a lot between hanging out with him and Roger Blair. You know, I'm probably a lot older than I look with the knowledge that Bill Jewin, you know, actually put into me. And the fact that moving into Will County and being accepted by an area that was known in Chicago, where I came from, and my wife and I moved from Dalton. But they used to tell us that, you know, oh, Will County's full of racist white people. You don't want to go down there. And Jack Harlow literally changed my entire thinking on that from day one when he introduced himself to me. He came to my house and introduced me. So his son here is here tonight. John? There he is. A couple others that we lost, and you know, near and dear to our heart. And maybe Jack was he was a good friend. He taught me a lot. Stan Bond. Stan Bond is another good man that we lost in the last few months. That was a man that was truly strong and strong to his. Your father was a good man, John, and I'll tell you, it just bothers me just even looking at his paper. Stan Bond was a good man, a very strong conservative that stood by his principles. And we couldn't have asked for a better sitting state central committee than Stan Bond and a lot of the things that he created. Another young lady that is actually was, you know, truly showing what it means to be Republican in Will County was Helen Carlson, a young teenage, part of the TAR program, the Teenage Republicans, that are based in high school. She lost her fight to cancer. But we've got a lot of strong young Republicans here today. And I ask you to continue the fight that Haley did. And I'm telling you, the work that you all did out in Oswego, I'm so proud of you. I really am. And I really, truly thank each and every single one of you for coming out tonight. And I thank the teachers from the high school, Oswego and Oswego East, that support these young people. And these are our future. And I hate that Haley is not here tonight also to be with us to celebrate this moment. So thank you for all that you do. And please pass on to her family how much you miss. It's now my honor and privilege to introduce you, great folks, to the leader of our state party, a man that has, you know, taken the helm of this party in the midst of all the crises that we're going through, and helping to actually redefine who we are as Republicans and how we go to market with the creation of a lot of the committees, the actual committees, so that we can learn how to engage. And he was instrumental in that. And I would like to introduce to you Mr. Tim Schneider, Illinois GOP chair.
Good evening, everyone. What a great, you know, you do my heart good, George. Look what you've done here in building this room and filling this up with great Republicans today. Let's give them another hand for that. I've been around, I swore that when I became state party chairman that I would be state party chairman for all of Illinois. For this year I've been to over 35 Lincoln Day dinners, and this is the most diverse Lincoln Day dinner I've been at. Thank you again for that. We need to create more diversity in our party as we move forward, and I'm hopeful that all of you will help me do that. We also have a huge crowd here, nearly 300 people. We've got one gentleman right here sitting at my table who flew in all the way from Hong Kong to be here tonight. So thank you for flying in from Hong Kong. You did. You came in early from Hong Kong. So before I begin my remarks, I want to thank, first of all, we've already thanked the veterans. Thank you deeply for your service. I'd also like to thank any of the precinct captains, the grassroots, the salt of the Republican Party in Illinois. Would all the precinct captains stand up and let us give you a hand for all the good work you do. Thank you. We also have some, I think Will County is the most gerrymandered county in the entire state of Illinois. You actually are part of 6 different congressional districts in Will County. And we have some great State Central Committee members here. Roger Clare, let's give him a hand. This is his home. And his deputy, Michelle Smith. Where's Michelle? Where's she at? There she is. We also have another great State Central Committee woman here, Judy Diekelman. Where's Judy? Let's give Judy a hand. And earlier I saw Deputy Kathy Hilton here. Where's Kathy at? Let's give Kathy a hand. Appreciate all you do. You know, the Republican Party is a party of capitalism, free markets, entrepreneurs. It's pro-family, for smaller government, and for fiscal responsibility. Those are some of the things that we stand for. Now, what do the Democrats stand for? I really can't tell you what they stand for. Turning our country into Venezuela, the greatest country in the world, they want to turn into Venezuela. Now, we've got this woman, AOC, Mrs. Ocasio-Cortez. I don't really know what she's talking about. She's got this Green New Deal, $93 trillion Green New Deal. You know, I understand the other day she put a potato in the microwave and she hit the pizza button, and 2 minutes later when it beeped, she opened up the microwave and there was still a potato in there and she couldn't figure it out. You know? She wants to abolish ice because she says the roads are too slippery in the winter. You know, she was on The Price is Right a couple months ago, and she just did abysmally because she said everything was free. You know? And then she went out to Macy's the other day and she bought a jigsaw puzzle. A jigsaw puzzle that said 5 to 7 years. And she finished it in 2 weeks. She couldn't believe it. Okay, think about some of those and you'll get them in a little bit. But it's not all a laughing matter. You know, let's talk about Medicare for all just for a second. About 20 years ago, I'm a small businessman, and I own a golf course in the northwest suburbs, and I had somebody working at my family golf course, and he had worked for me for 4 years. 4 years, and he said, "Tim, I've got to leave. I have to quit." "Why?" I said, "Why? You've been a great worker for me." He said, "Because I'm actually a resident of Canada, and I've had a hernia for 4 years, and they just scheduled my surgery, and I have to go back." That's a true story. Is that the kind of health care we want in this country? We have people coming from all over the world to use our health care, and they want to abolish the great health care system we have here in the United States. And illegal immigration. What are we doing? I mean, we've got to control our borders, so we have no borders. We're a country without borders is no country at all. We need to establish borders. What's coming across our borders? How many potential terrorists are coming? I mean, the president's right. How many potential terrorists are coming? How many hundreds of pounds of drugs and fentanyl and all these drugs are coming across our borders? And not to mention the numbers of people who are inundating our social service safety net. You know, it's terrible. And this is what Republicans stand for. We stand for, we're a country of border. We believe we support immigration. We all support immigration, but we support legal immigration. We're a party that protects and defends and loves our military and our police officers. We're a party that supports lower taxes and a belief that if you've earned something, you should be able to keep it. We believe in a hand up, not a handout. That's what Republicans stand for. And folks, we're the party of Abraham Lincoln, the party of Ronald Reagan, and the party of our great president, Donald J. Trump. I get it all day long, so I'm going to just give a little. I get it all day long that the Illinois Republican Party doesn't support our president. Come to one of our state central committee meetings sometimes. Talk to me. I'm attacked for being a never Trumper when I gave the nomination speech for the president on the floor of the convention in Cleveland in 2016. How can that be? I've been to the White House 3 times. You know, I love this president. He's doing great things, and we're the party. You're the people in this room that are going to get our president reelected in 2020. Love all this stuff, you know, there's no collusion, no obstruction. William Barr's doing a great job. Let's give a hand to our Attorney General. He's doing a great job. It's just so great to watch the Democrats in a tizzy and then have the president get out, walk out of the White House and go to his helicopter today. Did anybody see his comments? They were great today. He was really on fire, attacking Robert Mueller for his comments yesterday. You saw that today. It was great. It was really, really great. And this is the man who can stand up to the fake media and do the things that we need to do to make and keep our country great. And I think he's doing a wonderful job. And on a local level, on the state level, Governor Pritzker, Mike Madigan, and the Democrats here in Illinois are driving our families, our jobs, and our businesses out of Illinois every day. Do you know that 45,000 people left the state of Illinois between July of 2017 and July of 2018? 5 years in a row, the state of Illinois has lost population. Between 2014 and 2018, we've lost the entire population of the 3rd largest city, the one we're in today, Joliet. That's how many people have left the state of Illinois. No matter what business you're in. That's less golfers at my golf course. That's less people you can sell insurance to. That's less people going to a grocery store. It's economics. When people leave, my son moved to Austin, Texas 4 years ago. Can you imagine how many people move into Texas? The number's astronomical. He just moved to Charlotte, North Carolina 7 months ago. Hundreds of people a day move into North Carolina. We need to be North Carolina. We need to be Texas at some point in our future. And we need to call out people like Pritzker, Madigan, and Edberg for their corruption, profiting on the political positions for their own personal gain. It's not why we get into politics for our own personal gain. We get in to help other people like Roger Clare here. A guy, when I sat with him at the convention in 2016, we were having a drink at the bar. He said when he came in as mayor, there were 11,000 square feet of commercial manufacturing space in Bolingbrook. You know, today, I don't know what it is today, but that day at the bar, there were 35 million square feet of industrial space in Bolingbrook. That's good government. I listened to the State of the State address when Governor Pritzker delivered the State address, and I thought I was listening to a DJ spinning Robin Goyevich's greatest hits. You know, tax, borrow, spend, and repeat. Because that's all the Democrats want to do, tax, borrow, spend. This progressive income tax will be, as Mr. Morris said, it's going to be devastating to Illinois. It's only been keeping people, the flat tax is the only thing keeping people in the state of Illinois. The progressive income tax will drive jobs, businesses, and families out of Illinois, and we will have nowhere to go. But we'll all begin to leave the state, and then where are the people who are depending on our tax money? What are they going to do to get the services they need? You know, I'm just, and this Reproductive Health Act that passed yesterday, give me a break about that. We have the most progressive abortion bill passed in the state of Illinois than any state in our nation. It's ridiculous. And you know what passed either in the last 24 hours? They just passed an increase in your FOID card of 1,000%. They just took your FOID card and multiplied the cost of it by 10 times when you renew your FOID card. And from now on, you're going to have to get fingerprinted when you renew your FOID card in the state of Illinois. It's devastating to us. Now, we all had a bad election in 2018. It was a bad election. We had a tsunami. We had a governor who spent $37 million, and Meg Whitman spent in California many years ago, $171 million. Anybody that wanted money, Pritzker would give money to. They had 950,000 more Democrats come out and vote in this election, near presidential turnout. But one of the things I want to leave you with is, with all that money and that historic turnout, J.B. Pritzker only got 54% of the vote in the state of Illinois. 54%. That means 46%. Within a tsunami wave of an election, 46% of the people of Illinois rejected J.B. Pritzker and Democratic principles. We need to remember that, and we need to move forward. Now, the only thing I'm going to leave you with right now is that we need to be united if we're going to beat the Democrats in 2020. We have to put our differences aside, our petty little differences aside. We can't be arguing among one another. We have to stay together. We have to be united, because we are not the enemy in this room. Just because you disagree with me on one or two things, the bad guys are those guys that are driving our families, our kids, and our grandkids out of the state of Illinois. Remember that. Remember that we are here. We know what we value. We are on the right side of all the issues. And if we work together and build relationships together and stop the fighting, we will win again in Illinois, because they're driving people away from their party every day with their progressive liberal principles. We can do it. We can build this party together, and I want you to help me do that. Will you help me do that, please? Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, I have the great honor of introducing our keynote speaker for the evening. He is born and raised in Illinois, in Winnetka. Went to New Trier for high school, and went to my alma mater also, the University of Illinois. Got his master's degree at George Mason University, and served as a distinguished visiting fellow for the Heritage Foundation, the largest private research institution in Washington, D.C. And from 1999 to 2004, he served as the founder and president of the Club for Growth. From 2005 to 2014, he served as a senior economic writer for the Wall Street Journal editorial page and a member of the journal's editorial board. He still contributes regularly to the journal's editorial page. From 2014 to 2017, he served as a Fox News contributor and then the senior economic analyst with CNN until earlier this year. He served as a senior economic advisor for the Trump 2018 campaign and advised the Trump campaign during the writing and passage of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. He's authored 6 books. One of them, many of you have this evening. I didn't get here early enough to get a copy of it, apparently. But his latest book, Trumponomics, Inside the America First Plan to Revive Our Economy, is a bestseller. Please welcome Stephen Moore. Thank you.
George invited me to come here a month ago or so. It was a great honor. But I thought, a Republican event in Illinois, is that going to be held in a phone booth? I have to say, it is so awesome to look out here and to see here in Lowell County so many active Republicans. And you inspire me. And it's inspiring to see so many people who do so much to build this party. You're exactly right. We're the party of right ideas. We're right on the ideas. They know we're right on the ideas. They don't have any ideas. They're socialists. And it's just so great to look out. And I would never thought it. Who knew Illinois had so many people that believe in the cause? So many deplorables. It's fun for me to be here, and I want to talk a little bit about Donald Trump today. I'm not going to talk too long, don't worry about that, but I want to talk about I've come to greatly admire this man. I really have. And, I've got to tell you, when I first met Donald Trump, or at least, when I was asked to come and meet with him with my buddy Larry Kudlow. By the way, how cool is it that Larry Kudlow is the most important economist in the United States of America? I love the guy, and he gives Trump such great advice, and it's so wonderful that he's there. But, I'll just be honest with you, I did not have a positive impression of Donald Trump. By the way, be honest, how many of you in this room, Donald Trump was your first choice? You guys saw the future. He was not my first choice, I'll let you know. But I went and saw him, and we went to Trump Tower, Larry Kudlow and I, and we sat down with him for about an hour, and as I said, I thought he was kind of blowhard before I met him, and I thought, I thought he was one of the presidents. He was kind of a publicity stunt, frankly. And I went into that room, and after an hour, ladies and gentlemen, I came out with starstruck. This guy is an incredibly special person, and I always say half jokingly that, with no offense to the politicians in this room, but I always say, 90% of politicians during your lifetime, I've been around politicians my whole life, are wonderful people to the public, and jerks in private. Trump is a jerk in public, and a wonderful person in private. But he really is a wonderful person. I've gotten to know him, and I've really come to respect him. He's incredibly brilliant. He's a great listener. He's a person who cares. And by the way, one of the things we should be saying, our message should be, we Republicans are the party of the working class in America, right? We're the party of the working class. They care about university professors, they care about government workers and so on, but they don't care about, they're trying to destroy jobs, not create them. And Trump, it's so ironic, isn't it, that this billionaire from New York is the one who really represents the sentiments of so many working class Americans. This is what turned me on to Donald Trump, by the way. It was not just meeting, it was going to some of those rallies, around the country. And I would go to these rallies, and frankly, George, it wasn't conventional Republicans you would see at these rallies. These were truck drivers and school teachers, and you would see motorcycle riders, and you'd see a lot of blacks and Hispanics, and people who were just working class Americans who frankly were fed up with both parties. They were fed up with Republicans and Democrats because both parties, they felt had abandoned them. And Trump, he appealed to these people. And I'd ask these people, by the way, how many of you ever went to a Trump rally? How many of you went? These were like Rolling Stone concerts. They were so much fun. And people would wait for 4 hours. They'd gone for 4 or 5 hours to see Donald Trump. And he would come in and he'd knock it out of the park every time. And he inspired people. And I was inspired by the people who would come and see him. And I'd say to people, why do you like Donald Trump? Why are you waiting here 4 hours to see a politician? Say, because Donald Trump is going to shake up the system. Donald Trump is going to rattle the cages of Washington. Donald Trump is going to drain the swamp in Washington, D.C. And he's going to drain the swamp in Washington, D.C. So I signed up for it. And I don't agree with that. The other thing about Donald Trump, I don't agree with everything Donald Trump says. There are a lot of things I disagree with Donald Trump about. And I love, I've been a lot of meetings with Donald Trump, and you can argue with the guy. It's funny, you can argue, arguments all the time, and he's really funny because I am, the last year I've been with fake news, I've been with CNN, and so he actually watches a lot of TV, and he would call me every time I'd say anything negative about me, he'd call me, see that I watch. I'm like, Donald, 90% of the things I say are positive about you. You call me the one time I say something, that's not, he's funny that way. When we went on the campaign, one of the lessons I think I learned from being on this campaign, which was the most fun I ever had in my life, the 2016 campaign, and I'm going to work, I am going to work, on that 2020 campaign. We are going to elect this man. I'll tell you just a couple fun stories. I remember one time they sent me to Ohio, because at the beginning of the campaign we were traveling with Trump, but at the end we were off, to all these events around the country, because Trump couldn't be everywhere at all times. And one time they sent me to this little town on the Ohio-Indiana border, because we had to win Ohio, that's goes to house, so goes the nation. I'll never forget, I fly into Dayton, Ohio, they have a guy pick me up and drive me out to this little town, and we're driving out of Dayton, Ohio, and anybody here from Ohio, by the way? Ohio? I didn't realize, I'm a Midwesterner, but I didn't realize Ohio's a very, rural state when you get out of Cleveland and Cincinnati. And so we're meandering through these charming little towns. A lot of them were so small they didn't even have a stoplight or a McDonald's. And I'm looking out the window, and all I saw, Trump, 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 Trump. I mean, every house, Trump, Trump, Trump. And, these yard signs. And I was like, oh my gosh, I called Corey Lewandowski. I said, boy, Corey, this is looking really good. I don't know what the polling is showing, but I'm looking out the window here, and all I'm seeing is Trump signs. And my driver Joey says, hey, Steve, look down the street. And sure enough, there was one of those big blue Hillary signs. So I'd say, Corey, never mind, Corey. There's everybody. I just saw a Hillary sign. And we get a little closer, and Joey says, hey, Steve, take a closer look at that sign. It said Hillary for prison. That was a good one. That's where she does belong, right? And then I'll remember, about 2 weeks before the election, I was feeling, I was nervous about things. I always knew, by the way, that Trump had a good chance of winning. I didn't know if he was going to win, but I never believed for a minute. Remember, people said, Donald Trump has 0 chance of winning. It's, he can't possibly win. Hillary's going to win all of every state, and blah, blah, blah. One of the things that Trump proved to us, by the way, is that sometimes in life, the experts, the people who supposedly know everything, the experts are completely wrong. And Donald Trump proved every single pollster, every single political prognosticator, all these people are spending millions of dollars trying to forecast. He proved them all wrong. And I'll never forget, I was in Florida 2 weeks before the election, and I was walking down the street, and I was nervous about things, because I felt like we lost a little bit of momentum. But anyway, I'm walking down the street, and I see a bumper sticker in a car. And I'll never forget this bumper sticker as long as I live, because as soon as I saw this bumper sticker, I knew we were going to win. And here's what the bumper sticker said. Vote for Donald Trump. Nobody has to know. Wow, that explains everything. And it turns out, as my friend Kelly Conley says, there are a lot of undercover Trump voters out there, right? And so, I tell you that, don't believe these polls. Why does anybody believe polls anymore? They said that Donald Trump's approval rating among the public, was 38% the day he was elected president. What does that tell you? Either the polls were wrong, or a lot of people who disapproved of Donald Trump still voted for him, right? And so these polls that show, even like right now, if he had a 38% approval rating the day he was elected, right now his approval rating is 44%. It's going to be a landslide victory, right? With an approval rating now. And I remember just watching by the way, please don't tell my wife I said this, but election night 2016 was probably the best night of my life. That was just a great night. And we're going to have a great night in 2020. And the reason we're going to win is very simple. Because Donald Trump has rebuilt the American economy. He has made America great again. I'm just going to walk it through. I'm not going to speak long, I promise. But I want to kind of show you some pictures. There will be an exam at the end of this presentation. But I want to show you, can you show some of these charts? So I'm not going to show you all of them. And by the way, anybody who wants these charts, if you want to put them on your website or whatever it is, I'm happy to make them available to you. So let's start with might have to hit the down arrow. George is not a technological wizard.
Hit the key. Is there 15-year-olds in the house? Yeah. Go when you're teenage.
There's actually shut up on the screen. Well, I'm trying to fix that. I'll start. Let's see if we can get this to work. how the story goes. A good friend of mine who lives in Florida, Orlando, Florida, his nephew, who was 17 years old, back in mid-2016, had a stroke. At the age of 17, he had some kind of a brain aneurysm, and he came out of the coma, and he was paralyzed from the neck down. It was an extraordinarily sad thing. And he was, they didn't know if he was going to live or not, and so on. And his nephew had been a probably big Donald Trump fan. He adored Donald Trump, and they were trying to figure out, what medical treatment they could do for him. And then they finally, he was starting to recover, but at a slow pace. And at one point, he couldn't speak. The only way he could communicate was by blinking his eye, and he would use kind of sign language with letters to say things to his parents and his friends. And it was a very sad thing. And by the way, when they finally taught him how to speak, just by blinking, the first thing that he said, honestly got through, the first statement he made in 2 months was, build the wall. Build the wall. So I called up the president's campaign manager. I said, look, Donald Trump is going to be in Orlando. Why don't we, it would mean the world to this kid and his family if the president candidate, when he's in Orlando, if we had him at the event and Donald Trump, shook his hand or something like that. And so, I actually didn't think the campaign would do it, but I got a call back from Donald Trump a couple hours later. I said, how do you do that? I want to meet this young boy. His name's Michael, and have him there, and I will meet him. And so I wasn't at the event, but my friend was there and their family was there. And he's in a wheelchair, and the way they did this logistically was when Trump got off the plane, there's a row of people kind of waiting for him, and the first people in line was Michael and his family. And Trump spent literally 10 minutes with this boy, shaking his hand and taking pictures with the family and so on. It almost brings tears to my eyes. It was such a wonderful moment. And so he did this, and the boy still, to this day, he talks about what it was like, one of the highlights of this boy's life. And I remember I called the president a few years later. I said, Mr. President, thank you so much for doing that. It meant so much for this boy. But I said, I kind of hoped that you would actually put have Michael on the stage, so, and you could do this in front of a live audience and so on and so forth. And I said, why didn't you have him up there so he can see? He said, Steve, I didn't want to have anybody think that I was exploiting him for some kind of political purpose. And that tells you a lot about the man, right? I mean, this is a man who cares deeply about people. It's decided this is basically asking the question, why is it that Donald Trump won the election? The liberals are puzzled by this. They can't understand how it is that people were so angry. Why, after 8 years of the Messiah, why were people so angry about the state of the economy and the state of the country? And this shows that dark blue line at the bottom, that's the pace of the recovery. We've had 10 recessions since the end of World War II. And when Obama came into office, we all know the economy had tanked because of the real estate crisis. And we have had a durable recovery. By the way, June of 2019, which is 2 days away, but that will be our 10 years of an uninterrupted recovery. So this has been a long recovery. But what you can see is this is measuring from the month that the recovery began, which was June of 2009. For the first 7 years, it was an extremely anemic recovery. The economy grew by 15%. But if you look at the light blue line, that's the average recovery. Normally, the recovery would be about twice as long, as powerful. So you would have seen about twice as much growth. And then I like to compare Obama with Reagan, because, a guy in a special place. Ronald Reagan belongs on Mount Rushmore, right? And he was one of our greatest presidents ever. And so I like to compare Reagan, because Reagan also entered office during a crisis. And look at the difference. And by the way, what was Ronald Reagan's philosophy? I can cite Ronald Reagan's philosophy in one sentence. Remember this one? Government is not the solution, government is the problem, right? And that was the Reagan. It's a very simple philosophy, but it's a real one. And so Reagan, what did Reagan do? He cut taxes, cut regulations, restored sound money, got the government under control and so on. And look at this. And Obama's philosophy was the opposite. Whatever the problem is, we've got a government solution. We've got Obamacare. We've got, remember that idiotic $800 billion fiscal cash for clunkers, and all of these programs, tax increases. And you can see the difference. The economy would have been $3 trillion larger if we had had a Reagan-style recovery rather than the Obama recovery. And by the way, Americans can feel that. When I would go to places like Erie, Pennsylvania, or we'd go to Sheboygan, or we would go to, Lansing, Michigan, or we'd go to Charleston, West Virginia, places where working-class Americans live. And I remember we asked these people, how's that Obama recovery going for you?
Right.
You know what people would say? What recovery are you talking about? There's no recovery in these places. This was a recovery that happened in Silicon Valley, in Hollywood, in Wall Street, and in Washington, D.C. And other areas of the country were completely left behind. And that's why so many of these formerly blue states went for Trump. And incidentally, if you look at wages over that period, wages didn't budge 1 inch in those 8 years that Obama was president. By the way, did you see the data that just came out last week? Wages are up 3.5% over the last year. That's the biggest wage increase for middle-class workers in 20 years. Thank you, Donald Trump. Skip that one. I'm going to skip that one. Skip that one. Skip that one. Look, this one. No, go back. Go back. Log on right there. Now look, I love this. This is my favorite chart of all. People are asking me, gee, do you think there's a Trump effect with this booming economy? Gee, I wonder. Okay, well, let's see. Look at the top one, small business optimism. We have 20, how many of you in this room run a small business? I know a lot of you. You're the spinal cord of the American economy. By the way, we are the party as Republicans, right, of working class Americans and small businessmen and women. We are the party of the small businesses. And so you can see under Obama's term, the small business optimism index, it didn't budge 1 inch in his presidency. Because people were worried. Small businesses didn't like Donald Trump. He was the one. Remember what Obama said about small businesses? Remember? You didn't build them. That was his philosophy. Well, we put this businessman president in office. Look at what happened. Look at where the red line goes straight through the roof. That's never, anything like that has never happened before. In the history of this poll, they've been doing this poll for 40 years. It went off the chart. It was like the day after Donald Trump was elected president. It was like taking a champagne bottle and shaking it up and taking that cork off, and the animal spirits of the economy just flew out. And by the way, look at that. Over the last 2.5 years, it hasn't come down 1 iota. Donald Trump is the president of small businesses. Look at consumers, the same thing. We're all consumers, right? Consumer confidence went straight through the roof. By the way, these are snapshot polls that were taken within 48 hours of the election. By the way, just as an aside, do any of you know the economist Paul Krugman? Anybody know this guy? He's probably the most famous Democrat liberal. He writes twice a week for the New York Times. He teaches at MIT. He has a Nobel Prize in economics. And the day after the election, the morning after the election, he was on MSNBC. And he was asked by Joe Scarborough, Joe Scarborough said, Dr. Krugman, when will the stock market recover from the Trump election? And he said, never. 2 hours later, the stock market went up 700 points. So, consumers, wait, I'm not done yet. Look at that. How do people rate the American economy? This is a poll that's been taken for 30 years by Gallup. Poor, fair, good, or great. Look at the Obama years. Not once. The average poll response of that, and this was true 2 weeks before the election, 35% of Americans. In the midst of this great Obama recovery, 35% of Americans rated the economy as good or great. Ladies and gentlemen, we say the latest numbers. According to the latest Gallup poll that came out 2 weeks ago, 72% of Americans rate the economy as good or great. Thank you, Donald Trump! And they're trying to, liberals are having a hard time explaining how, remember what they said about Donald Trump? If Donald Trump is elected president, he's going to cause the second Great Depression. Remember that? Yeah. He's going to destroy the American economy. He's going to cause a global financial catastrophe if he's elected. Well, here we are 2 years later. We have the best labor market in 50 years. Donald slow since the Beatles walked across Abbey Road. I mean, these are unbelievable numbers. We have the highest wage increases in 15 years. We've got, I mean, just every statistic. Productivity is up, everything is up. And so, you know, when you see those kinds of increases, it didn't happen by accident. And so, this woman from the Washington Post was on this, have you heard this? Their latest thing is, oh, this is just a continuation of the Obama economy. Have you noticed that? Oh, this is just the Obama economy. And which is ridiculous because I guarantee you, everything we've done since Donald Trump has come into office is to repeal and reverse the things that Barack Obama did. The moderator of the show, she says, Steve, do you think that this is just the Obama effect? The economy is doing so well? You know what I said? Aaron, absolutely, this is the Obama effect. It's the effect that Barack Obama is no longer president of the United States. That's why the economy is doing so well, right? Regulation. Donald Trump got it. He understands business. He understands the way you get businesses to work and expand and hire more workers and pay higher wages is to be pro-business. And by the way, being pro-business is being pro-America. Liberals think somehow you can be anti-business and pro-worker. That doesn't work anymore. As my old boss, Dick Army, used to say, liberals love jobs, but they hate employers. We love jobs and employers, right? We love jobs and employers. We love small business. Look at that. The regulations went right up under Obama every single year. Trump comes in. In the first year in office, Donald Trump cut regulations by 36%. You don't see the numbers on this. I just put them in 2018. Fell by another 12%. Donald Trump has reduced by 40% the regulations on American businesses and employees. This is my favorite Time magazine cover of all time, right? This was about a year ago by these liberals at Time magazine. The wrecking crew. How Donald Trump's cabinet is dismantling government as we know it. Well, hell yes he is. That's why we elected him. How stupid are you? They don't understand. Yes, we want to dismantle government as we know it, so that government works for us and for the people. Show the next one, please. Now look, the trade war. I want to ask you this. I want your honest opinion. Because I'm with Donald Trump 100% on this trade war with China. How many of you stand with Donald Trump in taking on Beijing and these evil leaders in China? And we're going to force China to act like a civilized country. Because you know what? We are in an abusive trade relationship with China. It's that simple. It is not a level playing field. Finally, we have a president who is standing up to Beijing. And I stand with him totally. I think it's the right thing. And by the way, look at this. Donald Trump, his economic staff put this together. Look at, we actually have lower terrorists than virtually every other country. Trump always said to me, I always said, no, you're just a, you know, when he was before president, I called him out, now I call him Mr. Brother. I said, you're a protectionist. He gave me, I'm not a trade protectionist. I want free trade, but it's got to be fair trade. These other countries, we want a level playing field. I'll make sure these other countries are playing by the rules. He said to Larry Kudlow, look at the evidence. Gentlemen, just look at the evidence. When we looked at the evidence, it turns out Donald Trump was right. None of these countries, with a few exceptions, you know, I'm very much in favor of a free trade deal with Canada and Mexico. By the way, Nancy Pelosi, bring the U.S., Canada, Mexico trade agreement to the House floor so we can pass a free trade agreement with Canada and Mexico, right? She will not bring that bill to a floor. Vote. Why won't she bring it to a floor? Because it would pass. It would pass. The left has become a resistance movement, but Trump is right about this. China's now stealing $300 billion a year of our intellectual property. $300 billion. China's hacking into our computer system. China is engaged in cyber espionage against the United States. China is involved in technology transfers where they're stealing our stuff. We can't continue in this relationship, and I'm here to tell you, I believe profound truth. Donald Trump is going to win this trade war, and within 6 months, China is going to back down, and they are going to agree to open up their markets to the United States and stop stealing our intellectual property. And it took Donald Trump to finally stand up to China, so I'm very proud of him for doing that. We're not going to back down, right? We are not going to back down on this fight. This is the new Cold War that we're in right now. The next one. Skip that one. Skip that one. Skip that one. Okay, this one. Here's is the energy dominant country of the world. We are producing more oil and gas than we are consuming for the first time ever. I mean, is that cool or what? If you're not Saudi Arabia or Iran or Iraq or OPEC, we are producing more of this than we are consuming. The blue line shows our production. The red line shows that we're the declining amount of imports. I love that picture. And by the way, these are when you go to Ohio, Pennsylvania, are now the natural gas centers of the universe, thanks to the Marcellus Shale, and then up in Texas in the Permian Basin, we're producing more oil in Texas than Saudi Arabia. I mean, it's awesome. In North Dakota, Oklahoma, West Virginia, I love this story. And Trump is all in on American energy, and we as Republicans will stand firmly opposed to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's Green New Deal. No deal! We're not going to get rid of airplanes. We're not going to get rid of American oil and gas jobs. We're not going to get rid of automobiles. That's the left's. That's their Garden of Eden, right? Nobody has anything. That's what they're going to do. Okay. Show the next one. Oh, this one. I just thought you'd have fun. There is one state where the politicians are actually stupider than Illinois, and that would go offense to the ones in this one, and that is New York. And so this is kind of fun. So what you're looking at here, that big block there, that's Pennsylvania, okay? And then below that, there's Ohio and West Virginia, and that's the Marcellus Shale. And those red dots are where all the drilling is going on. Those are where all the oil rigs are. Now, New York is the state above Pennsylvania. Okay, you follow me? So that's what this is a map of. Now, in New York, the politicians in Albany are so stupid that they have passed laws basically saying they're not going to do oil and gas drilling. No fracking. And by the way, did you do this in Illinois? Is there a no fracking policy in Illinois? Because I know the Democrats tried to outlaw fracking, but they did. They have outlawed fracking in New York. So look at this. You see what all of the oil wells are right on the Pennsylvania, New York border, on the Pennsylvania side. Free market capital is a wonderful thing. You know what they're doing in Pennsylvania? They're drilling down and they're going to so all the development is on the Pennsylvania side of the border, not New York. Okay, go on to the next one. Skip that one. Skip that one. Skip that one. Air quality. People say, oh, we don't care about air quality. Oh, we can't produce our oil and gas. We have to worry about, global warming, all these things. They just look at this. As we've had the biggest oil and gas boom in the history of the United States, look at what has happened to the air quality in the United States. Most young people have no idea about this. We have cleaned up our air more in the last 50 years than any time in history. The air quality is higher today than any other time. Look at lead. The lead in the air is now 90%. Carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, ozone, it's all falling dramatically even as we produce more energy. We as conservatives and free marketeers believe we can have a healthy, vibrant free market economy and clean air and clean water, right? Whereas the left believes we have to destroy our industry to do it, and they're completely wrong. Now, show the next one. By the way, before you go to the next, I want to ask a quiz question to you all, because I think you're a pretty educated audience. You're not liberal, so I think you know the answer to this. What country, of all the industrialized countries in the world, what nation in the last 2 years has reduced its carbon emissions the most?
U.S.
US. You are absolutely right, sir. How many of you knew that? The United States. Most of you knew it. If you didn't know it, you can be forgiven because the media never reports that, right? How can the United States? How can we reduce our carbon emissions more than all these sanctimonious European countries and the Asian countries and all these other countries? They've signed the Kyoto Treaty and the Paris Climate. By the way, God bless Donald Trump for pulling the United States out of the anti-American. Its pollution levels more than all the countries that did. That tells you a lot about the worthlessness of these treaties. Now, question number 2, you can't answer this, sir, because I think you probably know the answer. How is it that this happened? How is it the United States has reduced our carbon emissions more than all these other countries? It's a 2-word answer.
Natural gas.
Natural gas. Natural gas is a wonder fuel, ladies and gentlemen. It's cheap, it's abundant, It's made in America. It is reliable, and it's clean burning. It's everything you want in a fuel, and yet the liberals like AOC want to get rid of it. It's stupid. I mean, why wouldn't you want to use natural gas? Because they're trying to destroy our economy. That's why. They don't want cheap energy, and we do. So that's a great story. If you show the next chart. Look, none of this, I'm not involved, none of this is what percentage these countries are fulfilling their targets for carbon emission over the Pearson category. Now, one of these countries has met their targets. It's an amazing thing. Okay, go on to the next one. Okay, look, this is so obvious, I'm almost embarrassed to say it. But I'm actually quite troubled that, did you see the recent poll? 52% of millennials, how many of you in this room are millennials? I know there's some millennials, not a lot. 52% of millennials believe that socialism is superior to free market capitalism. That is frightening, right? I mean, that is frighteningly stupid. And it tells you a lot about, it is an indictment of our education system. That kids are, after spending all this money and trying to educate our kids, they come out with all the wrong answers. And so I've always tried to think, I give a lot of talks on college and high school campuses. How do we explain in one picture the superiority of free market capitalism over communism, socialism, Maoism, Stalinism, Bernie Sandersism, whatever you want to call them? How do we prove what one is superior to the other? How many of you have seen this picture before? Most of you probably have. If you have not seen this before, this is about 15 years old, but it hasn't changed much. What you're looking at is a satellite photograph over the Korean Peninsula, taken at night, and as I said, about 15 years ago. And what you're seeing is the white splotches, that's where there is economic activity, that's where there is light, that's where there is energy usage and heat. And you can see the huge white splotch there, that's Seoul, South Korea. So Seoul is a burgeoning city, by the way. I was just in Seoul, South Korea last summer. It's amazing. Seoul is like 4 times as big as Chicago. People are producing things. I mean, a vibrant city, westernized, high living standards, and so on. And then look at North Korea. You see there's that one little white splash there? That's Kim Il-sung's castle, right? The rest of the place is in the dark. Now, why is this such a great experiment? Because a lot of times it's hard to explain why one place gets richer than another. I mean, there's hundreds of factors that explain why one place might prosper and another place might fall behind. But what makes this such a wonderful experiment is that when you think about it, North and South Korea, some 60 years ago, were just split apart. They just drew a line arbitrarily in the sand. You can see the line there. I went to the DMZ. And it's just one side we're going to have freedom and free markets, and the other side we're going to have socialism, communism, whatever you want to call it. Now, what makes this so perfect as an experiment is liberals don't have an explanation for it. Because think about it. The people in North Korea and South Korea are the same in every single aspect. They have the same culture, they have the same DNA, they have the same language, they have the same geography, they have the same history. Everything is the same. The only thing that is different about one half of this continent and the other is one went with free market capitalism and the other went with socialism. And yet our young kids are saying, gee, it would be a wonderful thing if we were more like North Korea. And I mean, how stupid is that? I mean, it's like, I show this to the kids sometimes, they go, oh, no, we don't mean the North Korean socialism, we mean the good kind of socialism. The good kind of socialism? Where? Show me. You mean in Venezuela? You mean in Cuba? You mean, it's like saying, we mean the good venereal disease, not the bad venereal disease. There is no good socialism, right? Socialism is let me just tell you this. Wait, skip it. Okay, you mentioned, I think you mentioned this about the states. It's very simple. Red states are blowing away blue states. I mean, and that's Central Illinois because you're a blue state. But we are here tonight because we are going to turn Illinois into a red state. Right? Yeah. The four stooges of Illinois politics. Madigan, what's your Madigan? Who's your number? That would be get rid of Durbin.
Yes.
Who's your other senator? Oh my God! It's the kids. We're going to get rid of the four stooges of Illinois politics, right? And change this state around. But this is just a perfect example of what's going on. The four largest states are Texas, Florida, California, and New York. Two of them are red states. You mentioned this. Texas and Florida, they are red states, and can't get more liberal than California and New York, except Illinois is catching up with those states in terms of liberalism. And so, I just looked at where are people moving to and where are moving people from. Because you can tell a lot, people vote with their feet, right? They vote with their feet. If they don't like the policies, this is why Pritzker's tax increase was so right. It's so stupid. If they pass this tax increase, I guarantee you, they're not going to raise any money at all. Because liberals don't understand this. 8% of zero is zero. People won't pay the tax. Rich people will move up. And I saw these TV ads that Pritzker is running saying, oh, only 3% of the people are going to pay all the tax. It's ridiculous. The 3% people are going to move to North Carolina, they're going to move to South Carolina, they're going to move to Texas and Florida. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, what is the income tax rate in Texas and Florida? Zero. There is no income tax in Texas and Florida. In California and New York, the highest income tax rate is 13%. 13%. Now, by the way, Texas and Florida are right-to-work states. Can we work together as a movement to make Illinois a right-to-work state so every worker has the right or not the right to join a union? It's a basic human right. California and New York are, of course, union states. Look at this. You have it exactly right. Over the last decade, that 1.368 number for Texas, 1,368,000 Americans, more Americans moved into Texas than moved out of Texas over the last decade. 1.4 million people. In Florida, it was 900,000. And then look at California and New York. California has lost 928,000 people. New York has lost 1.3 million more people that moved out of New York than moved in. Wait a minute, I thought that the left was going to create a workers' paradise. People are leaving these states. By the way, I did debate Paul Krugman a few months ago on socialism versus capitalism. And I showed him this chart. I said, Paul Krugman, you're going to have to explain yourself. Why are people moving from California and New York? They do all the things you say they should do. They have high taxes, high minimum wage, high regulation, blah, blah. You know what he said? He said, it's really easy to explain, Steve, why people are moving out of the blue states to the red states. They're, why they're moving out of the Midwest and the Northeast to the southern states and the mountain states. He said it's because of the weather. Because of the weather. Now that's not stupid, because actually, some people do, obviously Florida is a nice place to live, and it rains a lot in places like Illinois. But I really say so, well, gee, Mr. Krugman, that's a very interesting hypothesis. If it's all because of the weather, then please explain to me why people are packing their bags and leaving San Diego, California, and they're going to Houston, Texas. Yeah. Because I guarantee you, nobody moves from San Diego to Houston for the weather. People are moving these places because they have the policies right. By the way, the latest numbers just came out from the Census Bureau over the last decade. You had it exactly right. Illinois has lost 650,000.
It's the economic climate. The economic climate.
Yeah, and it's, you're losing your greatest asset in Illinois. Liberalism is chasing your human capital out of the state. We have got to block Pritzker. I'll just show you one more and then I'll sum this up. Go ahead, I just want you to keep going. Let's move back. Look at Illinois. We rate the states in terms of their economic climate. I don't say this one in any way. I love Illinois. I want to rebuild Illinois so it's a glittering state. 48. Only 2 states have a worse economic climate today than Illinois, Vermont, and New York. And I guarantee you folks, if you allow Pritzker to raise his taxes, you will have the worst economic climate in the country. We're going to work together to make sure that doesn't happen. By the way, look at Utah. We've done this 11 years in a row. Something about the Democrats, they just get it right. Every year they get it right. Okay, I know I'll show you one more thing. Oh, look at this. This one's a really good. Sorry, I know I've used too much time, but I get into this stuff. Look, this is something liberals don't understand. If you tax something, you get less of it. And if you tax something less, you get more of it. Now, the liberals say, oh, tax, you can't lower tax rates. It's going to just benefit rich people. Somebody was showing me an article in New York Magazine. Oh, it's just a big tax cut for rich people. No, look at this. The blue line is the tax rates. When Reagan came into office, the highest tax rate was 70%. It's hard to believe we had a 70% tax rate. Reagan, the Gipper cut that rate to 28%. It's remained fairly low ever since. Look what the red line is the share of taxes paid by the richest 1%. Look at that. Look at that. The taxes paid by the rich, even when the tax rate went down by 2/3, the taxes paid by the rich went up. They didn't go down. Will you please show Pritzker this chart? I mean, he just doesn't get this. I don't know, it's just like his straight table is in the upright lock position when it comes to making coffee. I'll show the next one. Okay, now this, I know this is a Republican gathering, but this is John F. Kennedy, who was, I believe, a Democrat. He said this in 1962. This is one of the wisest, my favorite quotes of any modern day president. And I just want to read it to you. I love this quote, and I wish every politician in America understood it. It is a paradoxical truth that tax rates are too high and tax revenues are too low, and the soundest way to raise the revenues in the long run is to cut the rates now. Is that beautiful? Will you please tell Pritzker that this is what John, by the way, John F. Kennedy would be a Republican today, right? John F. Kennedy would be a Republican. He would have no place in the Democratic Party because they're so crazy about it. So the next one. This is the tax cut we did. I know I'm talking too long, but I just want to spend a minute explaining this because it's so important. The left keeps saying, oh, this is a big tax cut for rich people. No, it was not. Every time we met with Donald Trump, he said, how do we help working class America? And Larry Kudlow and I said, the most important thing we can do is help American businesses expand. Make them healthier, make them more profitable. They make it so that they want to hire more workers, create a more vibrant workforce by cutting business tax rates. And we showed him this chart. This is a chart we showed him back 4 years ago. That black line at the top, that's the tax rate that we were imposing for the last 25 years on American businesses. And 40% is a lot. And then the green pillars you see that go down, down, down over time, that was the average tax rate of all the countries that we compete with. Australia, China, Mexico, Germany, France, Spain, Italy, all of these countries. And look what they were doing over the last 30 years. Down, 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 down. They were cutting their business tax rates while we maintained ours at 40%. So much so, by the way, do you think these countries were cutting their tax rates because they love their businesses? No. We know why they were cutting their tax rates. Why were they doing it? Because they wanted to steal businesses and jobs from America, right? And they were luring countries away with lower tax rates. And so we got to the point where our tax rate was at 40% and the rest of the world was at average 20%. That doesn't work anymore. And Donald Trump got against them. He thinks like a businessman. You mean, he said, this is like a 20% Head Start program for every country to compete with. And I'm like, he's exactly right. That's what it is. How economically masochistic is that? That we would, I mean, it was unpatriotic to support a 40% tax rate because we were losing jobs and businesses, right? Burger King moved out of the United States to Canada because the tax rates were lower there. And I could cite other examples. And so Trump looked at this. Now, this is a great Donald Trump story, and it's maybe the last one I'll say, and I'll stop. So we went to Trump, we showed him this, and we said, he asked us to come forward with an economic plan, a tax plan, and we spent a lot of time on it. About a month later, we came back and said, you know, Donald, we think that you should, because of this, you should recommend a 20% business tax rate for the United States. That should be your reform plan. And I remember Trump sat back, and he sat back and said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. We got this big discrepancy. He said, no, I want 15%. I want 15%. By the way, that was maybe the first time in history that anybody got the right, Larry Kudlow and I, in cutting tax rates. But we said, okay, Mr. President, maybe now, if you want us to go out and sell 15% tax rate, we'll do it. Now, here's what's so interesting about this story. It tells you a lot about how shrewd this president was out there. From that day until December 21st, 2017, every single meeting that Donald Trump, every public declaration, every time he met with members of Congress, 15, 15, 15, 15. He would say to Paul Ryan and Vince McConnell, he said, don't even bother to bring me a tax rate unless it has a tax bill unless it has a 15% rate. I'm not even going to think about signing it unless it's 15, 15, 15. And he was incredibly disciplined about it. And I'll never forget, it was a few days before Christmas in 2017. We were very nervous about whether we had the 50 votes we needed in the Senate. Remember, we came up one vote short of getting Obamacare repealed. And we were nervous about that. And I remember we're waiting for Mitch McConnell to come back from the Senate caucus meeting to tell us whether he had the 50 votes to pass. He walked into the Oval Office. We're waiting to hear if the caucus is what gone well. Comes right up to the president and said, Mr. President, I'm so sorry, I failed. He said, I couldn't get that, that 20% I mean, that 15% tax rate would be, where you, I tried with our members, he said, we just couldn't get it. And I so apologize, Mr. President. He said, would you take a 20% rate? And Trump jumps on it, I'll take a 20% rate in a New York minute. And he was thrilled. Now, here's what's so interesting about this. I think about this all the time. Thank God Donald Trump didn't take my advice and didn't take Larry Kudel's advice. Because I will go to my grave knowing that if he had started with the 20% tax rate, we would not have gotten a 20% tax rate. He wanted 20% all along, right? And he was shrewd enough to know that if you want to understand Donald Trump, you have to read his book. The Art of the Deal. This guy understands how to negotiate. That's why the Chinese have no chance. He knew that if he started at 15%, his fallback would be 20. We got the rate down to 20%. Just 2 or 3 more. I mean, just really quick. Let me show you that. But, not this one. I want to show you the results of this. Because this is really the most important thing about this. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, by the way, stop it. Did you know this is Hillary Clinton's tax plan? Did you see this one? Yeah. It's a how much tax is that's the Pearson tax plan, right? That's what we're having. Okay. That's another point I love. Because I'm a fact. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could get rid of the income tax? Why don't we just get rid of the income tax in Illinois? Right? Why don't we just get rid of it? So, here I write in your tax my signature. Please remove my name from the wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? Okay, keep on. Go ahead. Look, there's a thing last year. Look at this. This is what's happened to jobs. This is the blue-collar president we have. Look at this. Manufacturing, mining, and construction jobs. Look at that. Look what happened after the election. A U-turn. We are in the midst, ladies and gentlemen, of the biggest construction boom in the history of the United States right now. Everywhere I go, from Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine, we're building, 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 building. You know what the single biggest problem employers have in America today? Finding workers. There's 7.5 million unfilled jobs in America, and there's 6 million unemployed people. Even if we put every single unemployed American into a job, we still have 1.5 million unfilled jobs. That's how strong this economy is. Now, look at the next one. I'm particularly proud of this, that we as Republicans should be touting this every single day, right, George? This is the one that is so important. I was asking George, why is it that we as Republicans aren't getting more than 50% of the black vote? We shouldn't settle for 15, 67. We are the party that cares about African Americans, not the Democrats. And look at this. In the United States is lower than any time since 1967. Thank you, Donald Trump. This is our racist president, right? He doesn't care about black people. He doesn't care about Hispanic people. That's what CNN says. Look at that. Look at the Hispanic unemployment. We should be getting over half of the Latino vote, shouldn't we? I mean, this is a guy who has rebuilt our American economy, and I'm going to just end by telling you this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If the U.S. economy is as strong 18 months from now as it is today, Donald Trump is going to win a 40-state re-election landslide, and he may even win the state of Illinois. Thank you very much for having us.